All right, round two of the River Valley Smackdown, and we're going to be looking at the religions of the various river valleys. And all of these river valley civilizations had a few very key things in common with their religions. You're going to be watching all three of the creation stories for China, Mesopotamia, and Egypt. And you're going to be asked to critically think about what similarities do you see in their belief systems through their creation stories. But first off, we need to look at what are the commonalities of all the religions during this era. In your notebooks or in your lecture notes, I would ask that you please record this information. These are terms that we're going to be using and ideas that we're going to be talking about through the rest of the year once we get to Greece, once we get to Rome. So you are going to need to know this. So please write down. First off, all of these ancient religions were polytheistic. That's a term that you must know. Polytheistic means that they believed and recognized many gods existed. They worshipped many gods, and they believed that each god played a particular role. So the term poly means many, and theistic means belief. So polytheistic, belief in many gods. Each of these gods had a purpose. So these gods, for the most part, represented forces of nature. So this could mean things like earthquakes. It could mean things like flooding or the sun going up and the sun coming down. But it could also mean things in nature in terms of human nature. So we might have a god or goddess of love. We might have a god or goddess of childbirth, a god of war, that sort of thing. So we have gods that represent literally everything in nature, including human nature. And the reason why they needed this is they were attempting to understand the world around them. So remember, this was before they had a very good understanding of science. So they were using as much judgment as they could to try to understand why things happen. So during this time, for instance, they might not have understood things like gravity and the solar system. However, they were still trying to figure out, hey, why does that big ball go up in the morning and then come down in the nighttime? Why does the sun go up? Why does the sun go down? Why does the moon go up? Why does the moon go down? Why does flooding occur? So since they didn't have a scientific understanding of the world, they had to kind of create their own myths and their own stories to help them understand their world. So they believed that these gods controlled every aspect of life on Earth. They believed that the gods controlled a relationship being good or bad, the movement of the sun, natural disasters. So every single thing was attributed to a god. Again, because they're attempting to understand the world around them. This is just building on the religion that we talked about in the prehistoric times. So remember, in the prehistoric times, we talked about how they believed in animism, animal gods, and that's because the animals were so incredibly important to their survival. Again, they were just trying to control the world around them and understand the world around them, just like these people are doing in the river valleys. Also, remember that in the prehistoric times, they started to develop a belief in the afterlife, something that we continue to see. So the River Valley religions are really just building upon the religions that existed before in the prehistoric era. All right, guys, so these are your only notes for the religion. Pretty simple, right? You're going to be looking at the creation stories, and then you're going to be doing something with the gods in order to show me your understanding of the role of the gods. So please answer the question at the very end of this video lecture. And please let me know if you have any questions.